Imagine a world shrouded in mist, where the line between the living and the spectral blurs. A lone black ship, its hull scarred by countless voyages, drifts through the misty waters as dawn touches the edges of the screaming forests. The ancient trees along the shore have twisted faces, and they seem to whisper secrets as shadows pulse beneath them, alive and breathing. Our journey begins here, with a hooded wanderer stepping from the ship's deck onto a moss-covered forest path. The ground beneath their feet glows with a faint, ethereal blue light, a silent invitation into the unknown. As we follow, moonlit fog swirls around towering black pines that seem to breathe in the chilled air. On the ship we left behind, a mysterious compass spins wildly, its needle unable to find true north in this bewitched domain. The forest is not empty. Ghostly silhouettes watch from behind layers of silver fog, their forms indistinct, their intentions unknown. Deeper in, we find an eerie clearing, illuminated not by the moon but by floating green fireflies. They dance in the air, forming cryptic symbols that shift and dissolve before their meaning can be grasped. The raven-black ship is now just a silhouette, anchored beside a jagged shore, dwarfed by the storm-heavy skies above. Down on the forest floor, a lone lantern flickers, its light a tiny beacon of defiance against the encroaching darkness. It's surrounded by claw-shaped roots, reaching from the earth like skeletal hands. Crimson streaks of sunlight break through the thick branches overhead, painting the woods in colors of blood and warning. Our traveler pauses, recording notes in a leather journal, their hand steady even as the very woods seem to tremble around them. They are not alone. Shadowy figures run between the trees, moving faster than the human eye can follow, their presence a fleeting, terrifying promise. This land is ancient, filled with remnants of a forgotten time. A ruined stone obelisk, wrapped in glowing vines, hums with a strange, palpable energy. If you look closely, you can see forest spirits peering from knotholes within rotting trunks, their eyes ancient and wise. Back at the water's edge, the black ship's reflection in the dark water isn't still. It shifts and rises, taking on monstrous shapes that have no business existing in our world. The narrow path snakes deeper into the forest, a place filled with whisper-like breezes that seem to carry words just beyond our understanding. In a hidden grove, a ring of stones levitates slightly above the ground, as if an unseen force is stirring from a long slumber. Along an eerie tree line, silver-eyed wolves stand silently, their gaze not predatory but watchful, as if they are the guardians of this place. A sailor, still on the ship, grips the rail, his knuckles white, as ghostly winds howl from the distant woods, carrying with them a bone-deep scream. Symbols of power are everywhere. A glowing emblem etched onto a boulder pulses like a steady heartbeat. As dusk falls, the screaming forests live up to their name, the branches of the trees curling like talons, ready to snatch the unwary. Our explorer, undeterred, lights a torch in a cavern found beneath the gnarled, twisted roots of a giant tree. The air grows colder as a pale blue mist rises from cracks in the forest floor, slithering like spectral serpents around abandoned wooden totems. The wildlife here is unlike anything known. A spectral deer with transparent skin wanders through glowing ferns, a beautiful, haunting anomaly. Above the ship, thunderclouds gather, and eerie voices echo from within the churning darkness. You feel eyes on you, blinking from the deepest shadows, but there are no bodies attached to them. For a brief moment, a sunbeam pierces the gloom, revealing ancient forest carvings depicting unknown, terrifying gods. The path becomes stranger still, lined with skull-shaped mushrooms that release a faint, sweet-smelling smoke. Hidden between the trees is a dark cabin, its wooden walls vibrating with a low, supernatural hum. A ghostly child, a small, sorrowful figure, stands barefoot on a fog-covered bridge, their form almost lost in the mist. Suddenly, a wind of unnatural origin whips through the trees, and we hear the sharp crack of the black ship's mast snapping. An enormous shadow moves beneath the forest canopy, its passage marked by a quiet, calculated menace. The whispering spirits are no longer formless. They gather in the drifting smoke, their swirling patterns coalescing in the faces of sorrow and anger. A glowing blue tear hangs in the air before us, a shimmering doorway to another dimension. The very branches of the trees seem to reach for our traveler, bending toward them like pleading hands. A wolf spirit made of shadow and mist merges with the fog as it prowls silently by. The air is thick with green luminescent spores, drifting in the breeze like magical dust. From the heart of the forest, a single bone-deep scream erupts, a sound of pure agony that carries across the water. The ship's crew, those who remain, stare in terror at the woods that birthed such a sound. We stumble upon an abandoned camp, journals scattered on the ground, their pages hinting at other explorers who came and who vanished without a trace. A floating orb of light hovers close to a trembling tree stump, a silent testament to their fate. The magic of this place is raw and untamed. Ancient runes glow a menacing red on a shattered stone tablet. The black ship, now adrift, passes through water that reflects a sky full of stars, despite the daylight. From a hollow trunk, a twisted creature with vine-covered limbs crawls, its movements jerky and unnatural. For a moment, phantom ships materialize beside the black vessel, their ghostly forms flickering before they disappear. Our traveler discovers claw marks on a tree, gouged deep into the bark, taller than any human. The forest itself seems to be the true master here. Branches weave themselves into a living gate, blocking the path forward. A golden mist rises, forming shapes that resemble weeping faces. In the distance, a mountain crackles with silent, blue lightning. The black ship becomes enveloped in ghostly pale flames that give off no heat. A handprint, glowing with an inner light, is seared onto the trunk of a 1,000-year-old tree. Shadow beasts, their forms indistinct and terrifying, lurk in the fog just behind our unaware wanderer. An enormous root, bigger than a man, lifts from the earth as if waking from a long and deep slumber. A pond, its surface like a dark mirror, reflects a sky not of our world, but one full of swirling, tormented spirits. Feathers, stark white, fall from an invisible bird high above the trees. Ancient, wooden masks hang from branches, their carved eyes staring blankly into the soul. The forest is a stage for the supernatural. A swirling vortex of leaves rises, forming a humanoid figure that gestures for us to follow. The black ship's sails, though torn, suddenly fill with wind, even though the air is unnervingly still. The cracked compass on the deck now glows with an unnatural golden light, its needle pointing not north, but directly into the heart of the screaming forests. The path forward is no longer dirt and moss, but is illuminated only by glowing footsteps that appear as our traveler walks. An eerie choir of voices, seeming to come from every direction at once, rises from the hollow trunks of the dead trees. Our traveler reaches out and touches a rune-covered stone, and it pulses with a surprising warmth, a connection to the ancient magic. A wolf, made of shadow and smoke, stalks the edges of a newly lit campfire, its form a part of the darkness itself. A mysterious floating lantern drifts past, its light pulling us deeper into the woods, a silent, ghostly guide. The black ship is now surrounded by spectral hands, rising from the cold, dark ocean as if to pull it under. A stone archway, not there a moment before, forms spontaneously between two ancient trees, a gateway to whatever lies beyond. This journey is far from over. The screaming forests are awakening, and their secrets, buried for millennia, are beginning to surface. What other horrors and wonders lie hidden in the whispering mists? What fate awaits the hooded wanderer and the cursed crew of the black ship? There is so much more to explore. Thank you for joining us on this descent into mystery. If you want to see what happens next, what ancient powers are unleashed, make sure to follow our journey. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single step into the heart of the screaming forests.